now that we've got our data in long format, we can plot it. So this is level 3 of the challenge. We want to create a graph to compare the mean scores for recognition of women psychologists versus recognition of male psychologists. So the first thing we want to do in order just to compare recognition of women versus men is to filter the data so that we only include scores for that are averaging across men and women. So we can take our March long data, and we probably want to make a new data frame to work with. Let's say March, I'm going to call this March gender. Take our March long data, and we're going to filter it. And we want to filter for condition equals male or female. So we want to condition equals male or female. So I think what we can do is create, this is like creating a subset. So now I'm making this up as I go along. This might not work. So we want to go, we want to filter keeping condition is in this set of male score and female score. This might not work. Let's see. No, condition, did you need a double equals? That's a helpful error message. Maybe I did need a double equals. Let's see if that works. Oh, that looks helpful. Here we go. So now we've got a new thing called March gender in our environment. And you can see here that March gender only includes scores for male and female conditions. Excellent. All right. So this little C thing is a function that I'm not sure I understand very well, but in this case, it is creating a subset. So it's keeping the values of condition that are within this set of values. Okay, now that we have a data frame that just has the male and female scores, we can summarize again by condition, and then we can plot using ggplot. So we're going to take our March gender scores and we're going to pipe them into, again, we want to group by condition, and we want to summarize. We want to get the mean equals the mean of the scores. All right, so these are the mean values that we want to plot. Now, the nice thing about dplyr and ggplot being tidyverse packages is that they play really well together. So I can just pipe on the end of here. All right, I want to plot those scores, and I can pipe those scores straight into ggplot. And ggplot wants to know what I want to plot the aesthetics, or AES, what I want the graph to look like, what I want to put on the x-axis and what I want to put on the y-axis, and what geome, or what kind of plot do I want to make. So I want to put here on the x-axis, I want x-axis to be condition, and I want the y-axis to be this mean score that I've just created. And then I'm going to add a layer to say that I want you, ggplot, to give me a column graph. Okay. Let's see what that's going to look like. Maybe that's not going to work. Oh yeah, it's just thinking, oh, there we go. Awesome. All right. Let's see if we can see that. All right. So we have a column graph that is showing us that scores for recognition of females seem to be much, much lower than recognition of males, which is a bit of a problem. But it's possible that the scale is all off, right? So this is one of the things that I don't really remember off the top of my head, but I think it's something like if I add another layer. So when you're working within ggplot, you use plus to add layers to your plot. Within other tidyverse things, you use pipes, which is sometimes difficult to remember. So I go y limit, and I want it to go 0 to 5, maybe. I think that might stretch out the y-axis. I'm not sure this is going to work. Oh, brilliant. All right, maybe 5 was too much. Probably scores of 3. It will be good to know what the range of these scores are. Scores of 3 will give us a little bit more white space, right? Okay, I can't believe I did that without Googling. Okay, the other thing I really don't like is the default background on ggplots is this nasty gray with grid lines. Why would anybody want gray and grid lines? So it's pretty easy to add a theme from the PsiChiR package. So PsiChiR is a nice package that allows you to write APA-style formatted manuscripts in Markdown. But it also has a ggplot theme called theme APA, and we can add another plus and add the theme APA. Why is this giving me unexpected end of document? Oh, I'm not quite finished. Apparently it wants a space there. I don't know. Okay, so we'll add theme APA, and then we get this nice, the font looks better, the lines are better, there's no background gray or grid lines. It looks like an APA formatted graph. The problem is that this the bars now sit off the x-axis. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to remember how to do this one, but let's see. I think it's something about scale y continuous, and I think it's about limits equals 0, 0. Now I'm guessing. This probably won't work. Oh, yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. All right, hang on. I'm going to have to look up my blog. So this is another thing that I suggest you do if you're learning R, is to write yourself a blog. So I have a blog down site that I keep notes to myself about how to do stuff, so that when everybody Googles to work out how to do R things, but when you learn something, it's a good idea to make some notes to yourself so that you can Google a reliable source that is your past self. So down here, I know that I've written myself a blog post called APA Figures. And I know that somewhere in this blog post is the little line of code that adds APA style and then fixes the X. And here we go. It's expand. Right, here we go. All right, so it's this line of code. I got the scale y continuous right, and the limits kind of, but it's the expand that gets you sitting on the x-axis. Let's try that. All right, so I'm going to copy that in here. So we probably, if we're going to use the limits of this one, we probably don't need this y lim because that's duplicating. So we're going to say the limit of the y-axis should be 0 to 3, but we want it to sit right on 0, 0. I'll get rid of this extra one. All right, let's try that. Does that work? Yes. All right, so now we have an APA style-ish looking graph. We can make it bigger. See how there's a little expander thing showing in a new window? You can show yourself your new graph in a new window. The formatting is a little weird there. But the other thing you want to know how to do is save your graph outside of R. So there's a function called ggsave that will save whatever your whatever the most recent plot you've done. It'll save it as a JPEG. Or a PNG. So you just go GG save, and then you tell it what you want to call it. So I want to call this my APA plot.png. And if you run that line of code, then in the main, say it's saved as a 7x7 image, and back over here in your main, where your data lives, there should be a file. Maybe it's in the same folder as my script. Yes, there it goes. There's now a plot that's called APA plot.png. Right, there's a little introduction to ggplot.